talk about what happened with Debbie Wasserman Schultz and her merry band of Democrats and the Venezuelan community. I know you're dying to talk about it. Go for it.
Yeah, that I mean that's pretty surprising. I think that that's something that is very brazen for them to do. A group of people that voted against TPS for Venezuelans, and then they think that they can just come to one of the most Venezuelan communities in the U.S.
Weston.
And yes, Weston and Broward, and just think that they can talk about Venezuela as if they know about the situation, know this community, and I think it just shows the kind of I respectfully say it, the ignorance that they have about the community and sort of the more or less desperation in trying to connect with Hispanics here in South Florida.
Absolutely right. I think I was flabbergasted when I saw it on Twitter today. I was like, I cannot believe these people. Like 2 weeks ago, or not even a week ago, this wasn't even an issue amongst the Democrat Party. We were always standing behind the Diaz-Balarts and the Ileana Ros-Laytons and all of our Republican brethren who have been fighting for Hispanics and for Venezuelans more recently in Congress and in the House. So
Of course.
I was so upset when I saw this. I'm like, now is when you want to be a hypocrite and do this? I don't think so.
Yeah, no, it's something that we definitely can't let slide. And I think just having that voice here, representing people who want to express their concern or how disrespected they might feel, where they might have wanted to connect with them beforehand, and then all of a sudden they want to come here and try to tell Venezuelans to come out to where they are and listen to them without knowing what it is that they want or how they're thinking. It's something that is completely out of order.
I agree. Well, in any case, you know, this episode of the Local Buzz, obviously we're beginning with the most pressing current events, which was this slap in the face of the Venezuelan community by the Democrats. You can find out more about what happened today by going on the link right here on VARA Miami's website. Now, Tony is a fellow Hispanic American, because we've been talking a lot about this Hispanic thing and the power of our vote and the success rates that we've had for so long here in the exiled community for all of us, not just Cubans, not just Venezuelans, for all of us. So give us a little bit of background on who you are and your cultural perspective.
Of course. So I was born and raised in Miami. My parents are Cuban and Nicaraguan. So I really got a taste of two very distinct cultures. Of course, there were parts that overlap, but growing up in Miami, we adopted more of a Cuban culture. I still got to know my Nicaraguan side at the same time. And one of the things that really stands out is the kind of work ethic that Hispanics have. Just knowing how nothing is given, everything is earned. And so that really, growing up, allowed me to appreciate the kinds of opportunities in this country where we don't want to hand out, we want to hand up. We want an opportunity to work. We want to seize that opportunity and just live our lives, do what we want to do and do it in freedom. Just live with happiness. And really, I mean, it's that simple.
It's so simple.
It really is
the
that
concept
simple.
of being a Republican, a conservative, so much that we believe in small government, and we don't want the thumb of the government down our throats all the time. But at the same time, we want the ability to work. We want you to give us I mean, I've always said, like, I don't care if I'm cleaning up the bathroom, as long as I get paid and I have that voluntad, like, you know how we say in Spanish, to clean and to be able to get up and work and know that I'm going to get paid. I will be one happy American citizen always. And this is the country that allows me to do that. So they got kind of good topic to segue into what we were going to talk to next, which is the dangers of socialism, which is the complete opposite of what you and I believe in and what most of you who watch this program believe in, which is conservatism, Republican values, hard work, family. There's this creeping up of socialism amongst the youth, and it's dangerous. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's interesting because there was actually a poll earlier this year, I believe it was a Harris poll, that interviewed millennials and members of Generation Z, which are members of the generation after millennials. And it showed that more than half of them believe that government should provide college-free, tuition-free college, that they should provide free healthcare. Interestingly enough, they also said that free enterprise results in higher earnings. And so I think there's a disconnect. I think younger people, they just are completely ignorant of what socialism is. They buy into their slogans. They buy into
The
They're
symbolism, like the Che
exactly,
Guevara shirts, which is to me
exactly.
asinine. The guy hated homosexuals. The guy was a racist. He executed innocent, hardworking people, being people that we were related to, our ancestors
Of
are, and not
course,
too many generations ago. So I don't get it, guys. Wake up! It's this is creeping up on you, and you don't even know it. You're falling to all for all these false narratives that they're just selling to you on TV, in mass media. So it's dangerous. Make sure you know your background. Make sure you read. I mean, yeah, we love technology. We pick up a book and find out what happened in history with socialism. Nothing is free, okay? Free college, guess what? I have to pay for it, plus the school loan that I have to continue paying for, plus the taxes to make sure that this college tuition that you want for free, I have to pay for. That's not free. I'm sorry. That upsets me. And I don't want that. So those are the kinds of issues that I think is the disconnect that you're saying, that they're not
of
talking,
course,
they're not understanding. So, and that, and that's what's scary to me is the power, the power of the Latino vote here. We're a prominent group in the United States, especially here in Florida. And this idea of socialism is creeping up through other cultures, but still kind of integrating into the Latino culture. Tell us a little bit about that power that you think that we have and how it could be used to our advantage to avoid the pitfalls of socialism.
yeah. So I think it's great that we talk about the Latino vote. We are the largest minority voting bloc now in the U.S., and so I think political parties now they're beginning to realize that Latinos they are not a monolithic group. They are several communities within the Hispanic diaspora that make up that larger population in the U.S. So you can't speak to people in Southern California the same way you're going to speak to somebody in South Florida. And
Correct.
so that really gives us power because when candidates or a party comes to South Florida, we can tell them what we want. They can't come down and tell us, well, we're going to provide you with this, we're going to provide you with higher wages. Everybody wants that, but they need to listen to us if they want to earn our vote. And I think that connects well with what happened today. Really, a group of Democratic elected officials coming down and thinking that they know this community, when in reality, they're trying to push down their own agenda on us, and they really need to connect.
And sometimes they can't tell the difference between an empanada and an arepa. I mean, really, if you don't know how to differentiate such simple little things that we hold
Yeah,
so dear to our hearts, don't come and try and sell us your program because we're not buying it. We're all different, beautiful, but at the same time, we're one big happy family. So you got to really, really think hard before you come and tell us what to do because we're also Latinos and we don't like that. We don't like people telling us what to do, right?
of course not. No.
So, all right, getting back to the local buzz, because something recently happened, or at least this week, something really controversial happened on Twitter, and
Yeah.
I have to hold myself down because I get very, very upset and very emotional about this ridiculousness. So tell them, because if I say it, I'll get really upset. So give them a little background as to what
Yeah.
happened.
Well, I'll also try to not get so upset.
Right, I
But
understand.
so last weekend, Colombian President Ivan Duque, he came down to South Florida. It was an event put together by the Colombian embassy. And so there were elected officials from both sides of the aisle, Republican and Democrat. And they attended an event. They
And of
took pictures
all
with him.
backgrounds and of
Yes,
all nationalities.
yes,
Yeah, there
all
was a big,
nationalities.
beautiful. Actually, that I
So
saw that picture. I thought it was really
it
cool.
was a good representation of South Florida.
Absolutely.
And so a state representative, Cindy Polo, she came out and she was beginning to say that it's kind of a disgrace that Cuban American Republicans
She
would be
singled us out. She
exactly
singled the Cubans out.
singling out Cubans, saying that it's just a photo op, it's opportunistic. They're trying to take advantage of the Colombian, Nicaraguan, Honduran communities, Venezuelan communities as well.
And apart from that, she sounded so whiny because her invitation got left in the mail. Okay, I mean, I think it was more for an attention,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know?
I think it was more rather than what she was trying to say, that she's trying to represent her community, her constituents. She was making it about herself and then made it about identity politics, which really, it was a terrible foot in mouth moment for her.
Absolutely, and it was very bigoted. And then you had organizations like FACE, Facts About Cuban Exiles, whose main purpose is to defend our Cuban heritage and and the perception that people have of Cubans. And they even wrote a very strong letter to Cindy Polo. So I am urging Cindy Polo. I'm talking to you directly. Don't forget that where you serve is full of Cubans. Thanks so much, Tony.
Thank you, Yendi.